So this problem is asking us to evaluate a function at a few different points, but the function they're giving us is a piecewise function, and piecewise functions tend to throw people off because they're not used to seeing them and not used to reading them or understanding them. So let's figure out what it means, and then it's actually very, very simple to solve. What a piecewise function is, it's actually two different functions that work for specific values of x. So what it says is, I'm going to do 5x plus 3 for every x that I plug in that's less than 0. And I'm going to do 5x plus 4 for every x that I plug in that's greater than or equal to 0. So if I need to plug in -1, which is this first thing they're asking for, f of -1, I go up and I look at my rules. My rules say less than 0 is the top one, greater than or equal to 0 is the bottom one. Well, -1 is less than 0, so that's where I'm going to plug it in. And I'm going to get 5 times -1 plus 3, which is -5, plus 3, which is -2. So now I need to plug in 0, f of 0. I go up and I look at my rules. My rules say less than 0 is the top one, greater than or equal to 0 is the bottom one. Well, 0 is equal to 0, so I'm going to use the bottom one. So that's going to give me 5 times 0 plus 4, which is 0 plus 4, which is 4. Okay, last one they're having us look at is f of 2. So if I do f of 2, I'm going to use the rule for things that are greater than or equal to 0, because 2 is bigger than 0. So that's going to give me 5 times 2 plus 4. So 10 plus 4 is 14. Now, the thing to be concerned about is sometimes they will say evaluate the function if possible. What if possible means is, what if I changed it? Let me kind of copy this here, and I'm going to change it really quickly, just a little bit. Let's see, copy it, paste it down here. All right, so what if I start here, and instead of less than or equal to here, or greater than or equal to, I just have greater than. Now, if I try to do f of 0, I go and I look at my rules. I have a rule for greater than 0 down here, and I have a rule for less than 0 up here, but I don't have a rule for x equals 0, so I can't solve it. So it's not possible to evaluate this, because there is no rule for f or x equals 0. And there's also no rule for spelling, apparently. Evaluate. So you may come across problems in the homework where they're asking you to evaluate if possible, and they might give you values that don't work. So just remember that this is a system of rules, and you just need to look at the end to figure out which rule to use. If they give you a number that's less than 0, this -1, you'll use the rule for less than 0. If they give you equal to 0, you'll use the rule equal to 0, and if they give you something greater than 0, you'll use the rule for that. So kind of don't even look at this part. Start by looking at the number they give you and then checking to see which rule it applies to. Then you can go back and fill in the blanks.